Hello, hello.
How's it going, guys?
Good morning.
Amazing.
Good morning.
Morning.
Congratulations on your awesomeness in the competition.
It wasn't my best, but I'm more glad it's over than anything. I'm tired.
Yeah, but you still made them a fucking problem.
Yeah. Um, I mean it's I mean, admittedly, I went in wanting to want it, but it was like my eighth one. Um, and I was just kind of I scrapped this year. It was just a scrap. I woke up on event 4 day 2 because I was like I'm probably just gonna go hang myself if I don't final. Um, so I made sure I did what I need to do to get into the finals and just kind of after the whole dumbbell judging debacle, I kind of was over it. And it is what it is. I'm at peace with it. I didn't feel I had to prove anything at that point. I've finaled more than anyone else. You know,
Right.
I've had a few podiums, and I'm more looking forward to. At that point, I was more looking forward to the break, and not really worrying about what's next. I've already made the decision I won't be competing at the Arnold, so the Pump Club will have my full attention at the
Oh,
Arnold. Whether I take the year off from strongman or that was it at that level for me, um, I'm at peace with it either way. And the reason being is this year, this field, we had 45 athletes. We had more athletes than ever, and probably at the beginning of each heat, there was a new face that came up to me and was like, "Man, I got into this watching you. I've learned strongman from your videos back in the day." And at that point, I realized I was like, "Look, I have left this sport a better place than I found it. I have influenced people to show up and make a run at this show. Uh, and having those people like, man, I can't wait to can't believe I'm doing it next year. I was like, man, I'm 32, but I feel like the old man of the group. Uh, because no one that I started this professional journey with is still doing it.
you want anything?
I've watched two different generations of athletes come through in the last decade, and I'm at peace with it. If I walk around, if I walk away from it tomorrow, it's pretty cool to know that I have impacted the sport enough that there are new faces in it because of me and how I carried myself through it. So
Gotta feel
uh,
powerful.
I'm good. I'm
Definitely worthy of being proud of. We're proud of you, and we're happy to have you with us.
I really appreciate
Seconded.
that. I'm excited to be able to give more attention here. Will it be the last one? I don't know. I got invited to Greece's Strongest Man once they found out my dad's from Greece. Uh, so who knows? It might just take me doing a couple shows that are just for fun to fall back in love with it. Um,
Yeah.
It makes
until then,
sense.
you guys have my undivided attention.
All right, that's awesome.
Perfect.
We'll
Um,
take it, right?
we are gonna do something a little different today. We're gonna get right into the form checks, and then we're gonna do questions.
Sweet.
So Noah, if you wanna do your magic, and start firing those up, we can run through those, and then we can get everyone's questions answered.
Wait, yeah, just give me 1 second. Form check. Here we go. Just load it up here. Got me?
Yep.
Cool.
Giannis, these are good. Just I know we're working on getting down deeper and deeper, but you're right there, man.
Okay.
Your chest is proud. You've got a neutral spine. These are really good, man.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. I felt good as well. Yeah.
Good. I don't have
Thanks
a
a
lot
lot.
here. I mean, we're getting deeper and deeper every week. You're moving well. Well done.
All right. Thank you.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
a lot.
Those are great. Chest line, straight back up to the face. Nice job.
All
Lower
right.
body
That was
down.
yeah. Yeah, it was the second time I've tried it. So, and I followed your master class. So, yeah, thanks a lot.
Good job, man. Deadlift. Your second rep was better. You see how your hips kick back and up right before the bar comes up off the ground?
Yeah.
So I would say play that one more time for me, Noah. Your position's good. So we just need to start the hips there. It's literally like a matter of an inch. And that'll keep your hips from coming up, your knees kicking back, and then the bar being slightly out front and swinging back. So that'll get you right where you need to be from. And it's a very subtle change. And it's just going to take some reps and practice. I would look at that video and be like, okay, that's where that's happening. And I would record a set with your hips slightly higher. And when you don't see those hips shoot up right when the bar breaks, you know you're where you need to be. It's a very subtle,
Okay.
and that visual feedback is going to help you with the physical feedback.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was looking at it, but then I couldn't figure it out. Yeah. When I was watching it, I said something is wrong. I couldn't figure out what.
No, it's
Okay.
just
Thank you.
your hips are a little low. That's it. Nothing crazy.
Okay.
Everything else looks
All
great.
right. All right. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Thanks.
Okay.
Congrats on the strongman. And if you go to Greece, let me know. We meet over there.
Will do.
All right. Bye.
Film guy's fired. Wrong side. There we go. Yeah, these are good. Rowing towards the midsection, belly button area. I would say slow these down a little bit, get a little bit more time on the eccentric, on the lowering. But I like a nice strong contraction. That's all good there. I would just slow down the eccentric a little bit, let that lat get a full range of motion. Everything else looks great. Next. Okay, these are pretty good. So you hold your lumbar posture pretty much all the way down up until you get to the bottom.
Okay.
And if you look how when you get to the bottom, your hips come forward. So what I want you to do is pick your butt up slightly and really focus on that that cat-cow maneuver.
Okay.
Where you're creating it some more anterior pelvic tilt. So we get more hamstring involved and less quad. So ideally, you would come up about 2 inches from where you're at, and you should feel a little bit more going on out of your posterior versus your quad. And it should allow you to get into a better position for that neutral back. This isn't bad. This is still good. It will just, as you get heavier, the position you're in, it will increasingly start to fold as you input power because your hips are underneath of you versus behind you, and your glutes can't really pull through effectively.
Okay. All right.
So a little bit, get my butt out behind me a little bit more.
Okay. Yeah, it was funny doing this set or the one before. I mean, I could really, because you said last time, try different things, right?
Yes.
So I tried a couple of different things, and at some point, I could really feel it in my hands, and at another point, I was like, wait, should I be feeling it in my hamstrings? And I don't know. So
I mean, you're like 90% there. It's just this is a little fine tuned. This is all it really is. So you're doing great.
Excellent. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate your insight.
Next. Chest supported dumbbell row. These are always kind of like a work with what you got when you don't have like a.
Yep, using a steamer trunk and a liberator.
I mean, that's pretty good. Like, it's not like the most ideal setup, but I have to take into consideration the way you're doing this. Like, this is a chest supported row. Yeah, you've got to kind of work around it, and that's okay. But are we accomplishing the objective? And to me, I would say absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm okay with this.
That was my first time doing one. I've never done that before.
Yeah, ideally it'd be something that like a chest supported row, something that fits between your shoulders so you can kind of keep that plane. But like I've used glute ham raises. I've seen everything under the sun used for this, and sometimes you got a little bit of a workaround. And the reality is this is just basically a wide grip. Like if you were to use a really wide like bar row, like that's all that is. And it's still a row variation. We're still getting done what we need to get done. I'm 100% good with this. Well done.
Awesome.
Next.
This was the first time I've worked out in over a month, and it feels incredible.
These are good. I've got no issue with these. You're keeping from, the hips up. It looks like it's staying pretty vertical, and that's what we want in a lunge. You're getting virtually to the floor. We don't need your kneecap to bounce off the floor. You've got a good rhythm. You're getting shit done. All good.
Awesome.
Nice job. Step ups. These are good. So with step ups, what I want you to really focus on is really driving with that high foot with as little assistance from the back foot as possible up off the floor, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. Put everything into that step.
Yeah, the form and everything looks fine. Just we want as much input with that high leg as possible.
Okay.
The back leg's just a guide, balance, nothing crazy. I'm glad to see you're back doing it. You're getting after it. It's hard to kind of reignite. You're like, fuck, I took time off. So I'm happy you're doing this, and you're making it work.
Nick, can I ask a question? Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. I was gonna say I'm 3 weeks without smoking too, and I used to smoke in between sets, and I can tell the difference.
Hell yeah.
Can I ask a question on step ups? Is it better to do all the entire set on one leg and then shift to the other leg, or to alternate like this?
Flip
Or
a
it
coin.
doesn't
I
matter?
do both. Yeah.
I do one leg at a time because I will catastrophically fuck up the count if I don't. I need to go
I
1,
usually
2, 3. So if it's 10 each side, yeah, I ain't counting to 20. I'm gonna do 10 with this one and 10 with this one, so I know I did every single rep on each leg. So whatever you prefer, if you want to do alternating and say count to 20 total, or 1, 1, 2, 2, whatever, that's fine. My preference is one at a time for the simple reason of not messing up the count. So if numbers aren't an issue with you, do them however your heart desires.
Right. I get more of a burn just doing one leg at a time, and it just seems to be
Yeah.
better for me.
There you go. Got your answer.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Pin squats. We looked like we were a little behind the bar, but we straightened it out, so it's all good. Paul, these are pretty good. I'd be curious to see this from the front, if you wouldn't mind, because I think your foot width might be making these a little bit harder for your hips to get where they need to be. So it might be worth us taking our feet out slightly so our hips can really get into it and we can get our chest up. With that being said, those are pin squats. Those are great. I just think widening our feet slightly on this, or maybe taking the bar up one pinhole to get a little bit more upright to get our hips lower, so we're not starting in a folded flexion state. So it could, for me, this doesn't seem like a weight issue. This seems like a mobility issue somewhere. And there are two ways we can really resolve that with a pin squat, is that's taking the pin higher, getting more upright, or widening our feet to allow our hips to get lower for you specifically. So try it.
Hey Nick, this is me. I actually just jumped on at the start of when you were doing that. So thank you for that. Yeah, because I was actually one pin down and that was even too low. I think I was getting caught up in the need to start a bit below parallel.
Mm-hmm.
But the wider feet definitely seems good. So you're basically saying I'm too folded on the top a little bit, chest down too much.
So pin squats are you fairly new to pin squats?
This is the first time I've done them. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. They're finicky beasts when you're new. It's something you got to learn like anything else, and then you kind of know your height. Especially when you're squatting on the same rack. Like I take chalk even to this day. When I pin squats in my program, I'll get my height set at the start of the program, and I'll mark it on. Now I train in a barn in a private gym, if that's allowed. But nothing you can do if you got like a notebook or notes in your phone. Write down either count from the top up, top.
Yeah,
down,
these are numbered, so yeah, these have numbers
and figure out your height. So what we can do here, so we're not really thinking about the depth, is kind of, I would say, let's start with taking the pins up one.
Okay.
And then not really focus on how deep our hips are, but let's get into position and then get the depth.
Gotcha. Okay. And then weight wise, would this be a fair amount lighter than my typical back squat to start?
It's going to be lighter because we're not starting from a point where we can generate tension with the descent. When we're descending in a squat, we're able to brace upright, which means we can get more air, we can get more tension. We're effectively trying to spread the floor part with our feet so we get that glute and hamstring tension. We descend, and then we have that reflex out of the hole because we've generated tension. We've coiled up like a spring, and then pow, we fire. This, we're starting from a dead stop, relaxed, we're bent over, it's hard to get air. So it's going to be less. Yes.
Gotcha. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Of course. Next. Good. Slid out underneath the bar. I like it. Rolled the bar forward. Yes. Beautiful. I love the setup. Notice how his shoulders aren't wiggling around. I mean, he was very deliberate on his unrack. That was the best part about this. Was his setup was it was like a checklist. Bit, 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 and then right into the press. Brett, these are fantastic. I've got nothing for you. I love your bench press setup. And I love how you executed the actual press. I mean, it was textbook. Well done. Next. That was really good. Second rep was even better, and that's normally the case. See how Yik, your hips kick up just slightly. It's not catastrophic. You're virtually in exactly where you need to be. Let's start those hips where they're rising to, right when you input. But what I loved is a very common thing, and he did what's called pulling himself into his tension. If you notice, he kicked his hips up and then he pulled himself down into position. It's something you see a lot of high level athletes do. And this is what it looks like when your brace all comes together. You're getting your air, you're pulling yourself down into position, right? Here, pow, drive. So what I would like to see is a little less messing around down there getting set. Now, what I would like to see is get your air at the top, get down to the bar, pull yourself in, fire, go. As simple as that. Yours is the hot, mine's the ice. So in a nutshell, we want to speed your setup up a little bit. We don't want to mess around kind of in the hole. But that takes practice. I'm working on it with catch right now. Your setup as of right now is very good. But the faster we get the thought out and get it to muscle memory, the better is all I'm saying. I don't want to change too much about it because you're doing very well. Nice job. Borderline looks like a military base gym. Yes. So we're just a little out front on our bar path versus driving it back up towards our face. But your unrack and setup looked very well together. I'd like to see you drive from that chest line, nipple line, bra line. I think I got corrected. Back up towards your eyes. So your rack height is a little high. You see how to pull your back out of that supported position to unrack. I would drop that. The unrack is like a quarter rep, like bit out, we're tight still, down up. So I would drop your rack height by like one hole so we don't have to push our shoulders out of position. Next. No. Mm-hmm. No, not right now. Good. Beautiful, Steve. From unrack to first rep was, this is what I mean, like a very deliberate process. Not in a hurry, but move with a pace. Every step he took was deliberate, from as soon as he got underneath the bar to the unrack to him starting squatting. Steve, this is beautiful. Change nothing at the moment. I'd be curious to see what comes out when we get towards something that's, you know, maximal, submaximal weight, but you're moving great right now. Next. Out front. Yep. Nice. So, right away is the thing that stands out to me is you're pulling out front, which means there's much more weight on the table when we get you where you need to be. You're strong, but you've got much more in the tank when we get you strong in the right direction. So you see how as soon as you drive, your butt kicks up, the bar swings back towards you. So that analogy of the crane, right? We want that bar as close to possible as to our shins. We want it to come right up our shins. There's a reason why powerlifters, they have to wear knee-high socks on a deadlift, is because the bar scrapes their shins and they don't want blood all over the bar. So we want to bring that butt up 2 or 3 inches to right there when your leg drive kicked in. And what that'll do is it'll put you in a much better position when you come off the floor. So your knees won't kick back, the bar won't end up out front. We want to set up at that hip height to where your leg drive actually did its job. So that's when you bring the bar in close to you. So now if you could pause it right when his hips come up there, slightly back. Right there. So right before this moment, right when the bar starts to get input from the legs, literally right before this, when the bar breaks, the leg drive kicks in. So what happened is, because your hips were so low, your hips went even higher because it pitched you forward than they would need to be. So your leg drive ends sooner because you're out of position. Then your back has to make up for the work. So getting you in position is going to unlock a whole new layer of weights and efforts for you down the road. So that's what I want our main focus to be on for you, is that hip position and keeping that bar close. Next. Kettlebell swings. This is what a kettlebell swing looks like when you don't have a kettlebell. I've done it, seen it done. Perfectly good. So I'd like to see a little bit more, if you can hold on to it, a little bit more on the actual swing and the arresting of it. So a lot of people think a kettlebell swing is strictly a hinge pattern. We actually want to get more legs involved. So as you come down, we're actually getting a little bit more of a squat alongside the hinge. It's both. We're getting both. Think of it like you're leg driving with a deadlift out of the hole. So we absorb it as we come down and kind of bend at the knees and hinge forward, and then we push off the floor and we fire with our glutes to bring it through. This isn't bad. We can get way more out of the swing. But Robert has a history of moving very well, so it's usually fine-tune things with him, and that's all this is. Well done. Next. Love that rack position. Behind the delts. Can't really see depth from here. It looks slightly shallow. But her position looks pretty good. It's just a hard angle to gauge from. But a big takeaway is the rack position. And if she didn't have it trapped the way she was, she wouldn't be able to, front squat it in that way. So we need to work on see how you're collapsing in the upper core. So we really want to, that's where our brace comes in. We get a big brace and we keep firing up with those elbows the entire time so we don't fold here, because as you get heavier, say closer to maximal weight, you will lose control of that bar and it will fold you. So while it's light, we need to start to ingrain that now and keeping that that brace supported so there isn't as much folding. Next. Really good rack position though. Nice job. So less dancing around right before we squat. Come up, rebrace, down, up, create stability. You're right there with depth. Your posture looks great. We just want to get everything screwed in nice and tight right before we descend. But overall, looking really good, Arthur. Next. All right, Ryan, you see how at the end of your bench press, you're driving with your shoulders and kind of pushing it forward. We want to keep those shoulders together on our lats. You see how your chest kicks down, your shoulders roll forward. We want to keep that chest out. Keep those shoulders packed on our back, tight, together. Everything else looks great. We just need to work on keeping those shoulders together. Next.
All right. Thanks, Nick.
Of course. I have to nitpick you because you do so much well.
No, please do.
These are good. That's a good high pull. It's explosive. It's got speed. I'd like to see a little bit more out of your extension. But that's really it. You've got most of this moving the way it needs to move. That's pretty much exactly what a high pull needs to be. I would just like a little bit more extension, and we can get that bar a little bit higher because of that extension. So, Jason, these are pretty good. Next. Yeah, same cue. You're kind of stopping a little bit shy of triple extension, but you're almost there. Next. Explosive movements are hard, typically have a bigger learning curve because we have to move correctly, but with speed. So it just takes a little bit more coordination. So for some people, it's a little bit more to chew on. Jason, I think we need to get you a little bit wider, my man. I think that will make depth a little bit easier for you. It looks like you're uncomfortable. I don't think it's a weight issue. I think we need to get you used to moving a certain way. And I think I would like to see your squat next week just slightly wider. And I think that will allow your hips to travel a little bit lower without it looks like there's just some restriction there. And I think that might be the culprit. Next. Yeah, let's go a little bit wider. Next. So are these stiff leg deadlifts, RDLs? Because there's virtually no leg drive happening. We want leg drive on a conventional pull. You do a good job at getting your back set, that tension. I love all that, but we need to get your butt down. See how you don't get anything out of your legs. That's all back, the way you're doing it right now. So, if it's supposed to be a conventional deadlift,
It is.
It is?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so no more touch and go. Because
Okay.
it gets you pulling off the floor consistently. So conventional deadlift, we need leg drive. So you're doing more of what would be an RDL. There's very minimal leg drive happening. So the big off the floor from the waist up is just load bearing. It's holding the weight. Your legs are actually bringing the bar up off the floor. Then your glutes and your hamstrings are finishing the lift. So we need to drop your butt, push your hips back, drop your butt, and I don't want you to think about pulling the weight off the floor. I want you to think about pushing the ground out from underneath of you.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
I think so. Okay.
So you've got the right idea. We just need to get more legs involved.
Gotcha.
No more touch and go. Pull every rep from a dead stop because we need to maintain that position.
Okay.
You're making progress. We'll get you there.
It's such an awkward movement.
It's okay. You won't say that a year from now. I promise.
That's good.
Front squats. That's one way to do them.
Yeah, there's no rack to pull out of. And the Smith machine I didn't care for, so like those are my two options.
I mean, your front squats look way more natural, for sure.
Okay.
You're not folding. You're absolutely burying these. These are great. It's just you're kind of limited with the bar, and this is working right now. So up until we graduate to something bigger, a barbell, where you can load more weight on, we can rock with this. This is fine. You're making it work.
Okay.
Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next. These are pretty good. I think butt's a little bit low. I think as you get heavier, your hips will kick up. And I think if we bring your hips up slightly, half inch, give or take, it's going to put you a little bit more over the bar. Shoulders are slightly, ever so slightly behind the bar. So you bring your hips up, it'll bring your shoulders slightly forward, and it'll put you much more over the bar. But you're like 98% good, man. I'm being picky because you are moving well. Just some subtle changes to really optimize your leverage here. Next. These are good. I mean, from the waist up, he's absolutely rigid. He's right there at depth. Maybe we could get a little bit lower, but I don't really want to harp on that because he's moving very well. Depth will come. So let's just strive to kind of make it a little bit deeper as we go. But I like how you're moving, man. Well done. Next. More legs. You've got mostly hinge. We can get way more leg drive out of you, Rory. Rory's pretty new to a barbell, so this is another one where she's learning from scratch. You're getting more legs as you're getting tired. That's a good thing. That's your body telling you something. So what that means is we just need to get your butt a little bit lower. You see how your hips and when you started, your hips were almost higher than your shoulders, and now as you're getting deeper in the set, your hips are lower than your shoulders. That's your back going, I'm tired. Let's use these hams we have for legs to get a little bit more out of our pull. So your body was naturally trying to put you into position. If you look here, your shoulders are basically below your hips. Now, if you want to fast forward to like the last 2 reps. Now your hips are below your shoulders. So that was your body trying to get more leg drive.
Okay, so my ass needs to be up higher. I keep watching the master class.
No. We need to get your shoulders higher than your ass.
Okay.
We need more leg drive. So think about the same cue I was giving earlier. Push the ground away. I don't want you to think about pulling it. I want you to think about using your legs and pushing the ground out from underneath you. We need to push your hips back, sit your butt a little bit lower. Basically, take your hip position and drop it 2 inches and see what happens.
Okay.
Bring your chest up, drop your hips, push the ground away.
Okay, man, I will tell you, I have watched that master class so many times. I'm driving myself bonkers.
It's hard to apply it sometimes. It's a total new movement for you. So it's going to take time. But the cool thing about your video is I can see your body naturally trying to deadlift the right way.
Okay.
You just didn't know it. Because like here, like I said, your hips are higher than your shoulders. Then by the last set, your shoulders are setting up above your hips, which is what we want. Because what that does is it means your legs are working and we have less range of motion with the hinge pattern, which is what we want. We want to take the core out of it as much as possible. And what I mean by that is we want to get as much leverage over the bar as possible because the core in anything will always be the weakest link. It's just the nature of this game.
So could I use like the mental cue, like I want to sink back? Does that make sense?
Yeah, try that. Give it a shot.
Okay.
The trial and error is okay. That's why I'm here.
Thank you.
Next. It's a good chin up. All the way down, all the way up. I like these. Well done. Next. This is a pull up. Strong. Great. Next. Easy. High pulls. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Well done, Lisa. Got a little bit squirrely on that one. So as you get tired, your leg drive kind of came out of it. We don't want it just to be a hinge. We want the leg drive to keep happening. So as you come down and you arrest it with your legs, what I try and tell people with this is let's worry about one at a time before trying to link them all together into like a reactive pull. So come down, stop, reset, down into it, go. Come down, stop, reset, into it, go. Just like any other thing, because it'll just give you less opportunity to get out of the groove, hurt yourself, mess up. When we're arresting the weight is typically when things go wrong on this. So if you stop between each one, reset, and do it just like you did the first rep, your first rep was the best rep because you had leg drive. Make every rep like that first rep and it'll be perfect. Next. Moving explosive doesn't mean getting through the sets fast, guys. The explosiveness comes on the concentric part of the rep. Velocity. I mean, these are good. There's a little bit of a swing, but it's not the end of the world. That's a curl. Next. He's not coming too far forward and driving with his delts. That's the main important part. Yes. Pow. Look at that. Just locked in. That's a deadlift. Derek, beautiful job. Stop, resetting, rebracing. You can see the back engagement. Pushing the ground away, starting the rep. His hips aren't shooting up. That's a deadlift. Derek, awesome job. Love it.
Sweet, man. Next. Thank you. That means a lot.
Yeah, man. That is well done.
And all to your help, so appreciate it, man.
I'm happy to help, man, especially when they're looking like that. Benoit, looks like we've got a little bit more range of motion this week.
Yeah. I'm trying to push my butt as far back as I can.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the lowest I can get. Otherwise, it stretches a lot in the.
Well, that's lower than you were getting 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So it's working. Keep doing it.
All right.
Well done.
Thank you.
Next.
All right. So those are one arm pulls.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the last time I've done it. But the other time, it created some pinching in my ribs, in the upper back.
And are you feeling that anymore?
No, no.
In the ribs, that's usually your intercostals. So that's typically there's tissue in between each rib bone, and it's very common. I've had it. I've taken a big inhale and I felt a sharp pitching before. So that could have been your lat or something clenching down on one of those intercostals, and those tend to work themselves out, which it sounds like it did. So, but your row looks fantastic.
You don't like my upper back is not round, too much round.
Upper back rounding, I'm not concerned with because we have to get it's the lumbar, right? Our upper back has those big media rectors, those lats, and all those things. The upper back flexion is way less of a like you'll see a lot of high level deadlifters with upper back flexion and a neutral lumbar. And that's a matter of leverage. Upper back flexion does not affect lifts and injury quite the same way lower back flexion does. So you really don't have that much flexion in your lumbar, but we have to get into a little bit to get that reach motion. But what you're doing a really good job of is keeping that mid and lower back together.
Okay.
So good job. Next.
Thanks.
Nice. These are great. She's got great hip mobility. She's got great ankle mobility. I mean, she is like effortlessly just all the way down there and completely in control. Well done. I love these. Next.
All right, not my best work last night. That was some reason. Ice. I don't know. Maybe I went too heavy. Let's see.
So you never set up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I lowered that myself that much last night.
Yeah, you never got that back into position and your hips set.
Yeah.
That's all. That's really is. And it sounds like you know it, so I really don't need to harp on it that much.
Yeah,
So
no, I looked at the video and I was like, and I wasn't feeling it that much. Maybe I don't know if I like jump. I did my workups. I got to 225 and then I jumped to 275, but I don't know if that was a lot to start with.
I mean, a lot kind of depends on what your overall threshold is. So, like, if you say your max is 350 and you go from 225 to 275, that's a big jump. But if max is 500, it's not a big jump. So it's
Yeah. Okay, got it. Yeah, I practiced in the morning. I stood up against the mirror and then I started, folding and pushing my butt back just to see my back get straight too. So I'll probably redo this today because I didn't finish. I was spent with the weight for some reason, so I'll just retrain today.
If you're gonna redo it, drop your weight significantly because what we want to avoid is not digging deeper.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're gonna redo it, dial way back on the weight and get it right and focus on the execution versus the actual workout of the deadlift because you've already done the work.
Yeah.
So you don't need to double down on the work, but you can, draw back on that weight significantly, stay, at around 200 pounds and get the pulls really pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my idea, just to lower the weight down because I knew that my back didn't look good and yeah, everything was off last night.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Thank you.
Next. So you did two different lunges here. You did a forward lunge and then you did a reverse lunge. So if you're stepping back, it's a reverse lunge. If you're stepping forward, it's just a lunge. So
Yeah,
they both look good.
They both look good?
Yeah, they both look good.
Okay. I gave you one of each in case you noticed something.
Okay. No, man, you're moving well with these. I've got no issue with either. You didn't fold when you lunged, which is a common problem. You kept everything from the waist up together and you just lunged. Well done.
Okay.
So these would be more of like a split squat now because you're not stepping. But they still look good. You could probably get a little bit wider on the split squat.
Okay.
Just so what we want to see on a split squat is think like if you're looking at the side where your hip is, we want to see a nice linear travel straight down. So it's not sinking forward. We want a nice vertical path with the hips. Think we're literally squatting between our feet. That's all it is. Next. Goblet squat. These are good. I'd work on keeping that thing close underneath your chin because as you get heavier, if it's out here, it's just going to be harder to do. Let me see it one more time, Noah. But you're moving well. Yeah.
Next is the front view of this.
Okay.
So I'm looking for something that could affect my piriformis sciatic issue that we talked about last time.
Yeah. Did you feel it on any of this?
Not really. I felt it afterwards.
Okay.
But
the only thing that stands out to me is the flexion you go in to when you get to the bottom of your squat. You kind of really get forward.
Okay.
It's kind of keeping yourself upright, which would load that lumbar area and piss off all those nerves. What I would try and do is face a wall and basically get up against it so your arms are at a 90 degree, your knees are up against the wall, so you squat and you use that wall to keep you upright. And let's get you used to squatting and staying as vertical as possible without any weight first. So we get out of the habit of this really big fold. Because when we're leaning forward and folding, it's not causing us to get deeper. It's like an illusion. We feel we're getting deeper because our eye line's getting lower, but our hips aren't. And that's where depth is equated, is where your hips are in relation to your knee line. So when our hips break our knee, that's where we get folders. But when everything from the hips up is folding down, these actually don't descend any deeper. So I would start your squats with a 90-90 flow. Let's get your hips opened up.
Okay.
That's where you sit on your butt and you roll your knees side to side and pivot on your heels.
Yeah, I did those before I did this. So you recommended those and Dodd Tigny's and the McGill 3.
Are you reaching over and across when at the end of your 90-90 flows to when your knees are on the floor to really get a stretch? You should
I did
stretch in the bottom glute that's on the floor.
Okay. I only did one or two of each, and I stretched across 2 different ways that you had mentioned.
Yep.
Yeah. But I didn't have time to do very many, so I only did 1 or 2 of each.
Start even doing those on your off days too.
Okay.
All right.
Will do.
Cool. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. So that was the last video. So I think we are ready to get into questions now. Hit me. Got any questions?
I got a couple.
Okay.
Just real quick ones. Just one, again, great job this past weekend on the competition. Do you think that The length of time between Santa Monica and this one was too close?
No.
Was that part of the effect, or that nothing to do with it?
The one that was too close that really did me in was between Santa Monica and ASM. I had 2 weeks before going and defending my America's Strongest Man title. So the reason why that was too close is I had a weight cut, I competed, I had a week deload, I had to travel back. Then I had 1 week of training, and in that 2 weeks, you sit heavier than you normally do because your body is carrying a ton of inflammation
Right.
from the competing. So my weight cut started at about 226 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Normally, I'm starting at around 218, 216. And the weight was just not coming off because I was holding all that inflammation. I was holding water, and it really mentally just I was sauning for about 12 hours. And I was just not in good shape coming out of that. And I somehow pulled it together and pulled a world record out of my ass on an implement I hadn't touched in 2 years.
That's the measure of a champion right there.
I think this one, between that, I think it was just an accumulation. Going into that prep, the start of that prep, I was very half-hearted. I didn't want to compete again this year. But I was qualified. I said I was going to do it, and I did it. I wanted to want it, and I was trying to pull every trick in the book. And I'm not saying a half-ass training. I worked my ass off.
Right.
There was no issue there, but I did not enjoy it for 12 weeks. I was not enjoying. I had days where I did, but I would say 3 out of 4 training days, I didn't enjoy it. It was just nose to the grindstone.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then, day 1, event 2, I tore my hand open. You can see the remnants. My grip was affected on the deadlift. It busted open on the frame carry. And I had to do every event after that with a bleeding hand because it's not healing while you're competing. It's just getting retorn. So I think it was more of a, after ASM, I was ready for a break, and I forced this one, and it showed. Like I said, normally, if I'm not in contention for winning, I'm not interested. That's people. I'm gonna sound like an asshole, but whatever.
No, I completely understand that. Totally.
I go to win.
Yeah.
I go to win, and it's not that when I'm not in contention, I don't try or care. But there's a different. It's a different mindset versus when you're going to win it. And this one, I really, after the first event, I didn't have that burning, yeah, let's drive this home and let's win it. It was like, let's survive this and get into the finals.
I get that. So then on the training side of things for me, I don't know if everybody knows, I've been dealing with some things all year. Now I'm currently dealing with some vertigo. So I can't really go to the gym and do heavy lifting. Obviously no back squats, deadlifts, nothing like that. I might be able to try to get into machines and work on bands like that. I don't know if you've ever dealt with or coached or helped with anybody that's dealt with vertigo. I feel like I'm strong, physically strong. I'm not weak from anything. It's just getting from machine to machine or workout to workout.
Yeah.
So that's the challenge I'm facing right now is I don't want to not train because I have goals for next fall. But I'm not going to be able to train at that level with that heavy of a weight. And I'm hoping that I can still find a way to make everything come together.
Your triggers, because it's a very finicky thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, you have crystals in your ears, right? Like that float around that can literally get stuck and cause vertigo. It can be triggered by gut health. It can be triggered by some sort of inflammation in the inner ear.
And that's where mine came from. I had inflammation. I've had a surgery. Everything seemed fine after that. I was back to heavy lifting, and then the vertigo came on. So I have PT. I just did that today. That's a little humbling. And then I've got a couple follow-up appointments. But I'm going to start doing what I can here. I have some bands home. I have some adjustable dumbbells. So I go up to 52 pounds. I got a chair I can sit in. So that's kind of where I'm going to be starting to work out soon.
It was one of those things where, like, because it's such a case by case basis, because it can be caused and affected by so many different things within the body. It's one of those things that, like, when the going's good, you got to get it. And then
Right.
when it's not, you kind of got to get through it.
Mhm.
Until you get to the bottom of the causation or the inflammation or whatever, you kind of take advantage of it when you can, and you survive it when you have to.
And that's my plan moving forward. I had a really bad weekend last weekend. I was just out of it. I couldn't keep anything down. The last couple of days I felt pretty good. Like I said, I felt strong, but I didn't want to get myself pushing it too hard too quick. Give myself and my body time to recover. So I'm hoping that later today I might try to do like a little light band workout and then start getting into using those dumbbells and doing what I can from a seated position where I don't have to worry about balance, but can still get some effect out of it. So
There you go. Right on.
well, happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Benoit, you've had your hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if you already answered that at the beginning of the Zoom. I couldn't attend, but I've done jump squats, and I am questioning, or I'm wondering how I should breathe doing those when I get back to the floor to avoid injury in my.
Are you doing them with weight or body weight or what? How are you doing them?
Yeah, I'm using 50-pound dumbbells.
So a jump squat, I jump when I leave the floor, I'm exhaling, and then as I'm, in that gap between, I'm bracing again and coming down. So it's like
you break in the air.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's like down, up, and it's shallower breathing. We're not bracing as hard and as heavy as we would on a squat, deadlift, bench because it's a static lift. When we're moving dynamically, our breathing is shallower because that's just we need more air constantly.
And how much reps should we do? Like, do we also aim for the for the last few reps, or like the first set mindset, doing jump squats, or we want
it's as many reps as prescribed. That's
so I could use much more weight than just
yeah. If what weight you're doing is too easy for the rep range, add more weight.
Okay, and when I get back to the ground, should I allow my upper back to round so that it absorbs the impact, or I touch the ground and I absorb the impact with my legs, or what part of the body
of everything? So you're kind of trying to keep position from the waist up like you normally would, and you're trying to absorb that with your legs so you feel it in your legs the most.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yannis, go ahead.
Yeah, Nick, a question about the increasing the weight, right? About for the three major lifts anyway. When like do I increase the weight when I feel comfortable with, let's say, like doing 5 reps with 60%, or when do I go up the weight? That's my question. It's like when I feel comfortable with the reps.
Looking to up
But
the
how
weight
many reps?
So this is how progressive overload works. So like you should be upping the weight as frequent as possible within the realm of good form. So if you've been at the same weight on a lift for 3 weeks, you need to add 5 pounds. If that's easy that week, add 5 more pounds. So like it's a constant, like you're constantly trying to push that. That's how you get stronger, is you're constantly trying to push the threshold for how much weight you can move each time you move it. I don't care if it's 2 pounds. I don't care if it's 5 pounds. Add it
Okay.
whenever you can, as frequent as possible, within the realm of good form. I always tell people, train in the realm of perfection. When you send it, take the brakes off, take the training wheels off. If it's a PR and your form breaks down, I don't give a shit. Full send.
Okay.
So add weight wherever possible. And you might not get it every single week, but that's okay. And say you're sick or something, you know you're going to have to draw back. Okay, well, I'm not feeling good. My CNS is going to be a little, this is where experience comes in, right? My CNS is going to be a little bit fatigued. I'm going to be under the weather. Things are going to feel a little bit heavier. Then you come off of that, and then you kind of go back up to your normal weight, test the water. If that first set's too easy, throw in 5 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Hey, Nick, because the sets and reps go up and down, like you might start out with 3 sets of 5 and then go up to 6 sets of 20. You just start with the most you've done and then take some off as you go if you need to for the higher reps and sets?
Yeah. So like obviously our weights are going to be extremely different for a set of 20 and a set of 6. So let's say you have 3 sets of 6 this week. Go on with a weight that you've done that you know that first set is a challenge, but you can do it. Then add 5 pounds and try and maintain that. And then the next time you have 3 sets of 6, start with that weight you ended with. Does that make sense? So that's progressive overload. So like started with a weight you knew you could do, but it was a challenge. You added 5 pounds on the second set. Two things will happen. You'll either be able to maintain that you have 3 options. You'll either be able to maintain that, might have to drop back, or you might be able to add more weight. So the next time you encounter that 3 sets of 6, try and start with the weight you ended with and see if you can maintain that for all 3 sets. Or who knows, you might be able to add even more weight. But that's how we push getting stronger. The 3 sets of 20, that's a hard one because you're either going to be kind of around the same weight or you're going to add 5-10 pounds over the entire program, because that is very cardio and motor intensive versus just strength intensive. So I wouldn't really worry about that. Of course, apply the same notion, add weight where you can, but the 3x20 is not necessarily a set of strength where it's more of it's going to showcase motor more than strength.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Roscoe, sorry, can I ask a question? Which program do you get 20 reps?
Dumbbell Dominance has some. I just did one that was 6 sets of 20 for something. So the tricep extensions and stuff might do like 15 of those. So and you start off, with much lower reps. So you're working up to those.
That's that bodybuilding stuff.
Yeah.
There's also a foundation one. They make you do like 20 squats, and it's a real pain.
Yeah. I had a coach throw a 20 rep max at me one time.
Oh.
Yeah. It was like 3 or 4 years ago. I think I ended up at like 415 on squat for 20 rep max. And I got to 12 and I was completely reconsidering everything. And I just did one at a time from it was brutal. I'll never forget. I was nauseous. That scarred me for life. I'll never forget that set.
Yeah, that's difficult to forget that.
Anybody else with any questions?
What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
Hopefully nothing. I'll travel out.
That'd be nice.
I don't even like Thanksgiving food. Like, I like turkey, but I like the dark meat. I don't know how we ended up with the shittiest birds for holiday meat and like ham. Why can't it be stinking beef or lamb or something like? So, Yannis, I don't like how Americans cook lamb.
Yeah, well,
Anything cooked lamb, they taste how they smell.
Yeah, I
How
know.
British cook lamb, they don't have that pungent taste
Yeah,
that
I
comes
know.
with the odor. Americans mess it up.
Yeah,
I,
I know.
I think
That's why you need.
be like ribs,
Yes.
sirloin, like
Yeah. Ribeye.
ham. It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I was in the US for 10 years, so we always had Thanksgiving at my uncle's place, and turkey was not my cup of tea as well. We used to roast lamb actually instead.
I just go straight for the legs. I just rip the legs off. Like, give me the
Yeah. I have a question, Nick. Just the last
yeah.
one, if nobody else has a question. Otherwise, I can wait. Yeah.
Go ahead, hit me with it real quick, and then we'll get to
So
Jeanette.
on the bench press, these when you bring down the bar and you do this kind of a little bit of bringing it to your face, it's a little bit angled, right? Why I did this for the first time in this video. I was doing completely wrong the bench press, and it had a completely different. I mean, it's mind blowing. The difference that I felt. And also on the chest.
Sped up.
Yeah, why is it like that? Because I thought that you just go straight down the bar and up. And why is it?
Let's just like let me see if I can turn and not wreck my whole setup out here on the porch. So imagine I'm laying flat on the ground. If I'm pressing straight out away from me, look at where I am in relation to the weight is actually not over my chest fully. It's actually starting to go towards my abdomen. So now my delts have to fight it to stabilize it. Versus if I come down and I drive towards my face, we're getting way more chest. Our lats can actually do their job. Because if we're pressing down here, we're taking our lats out of it a little bit. Because now we're pushing away from our center. Our center's think about when you unrack, you're actually kind of over your face. And then when we start the press, we go away from our face to open up our chest to get down there. So when we drive back up towards our face, think about like if you were trying to lean against the wall and push, right? If I were to try to push against this wall, would I do it like this? Or would I do it like this? I'm driving here. So that same line of power. And you see American football players, when they block, they don't stand upright and block here. They're driving here. So it's a much more conducive way to generate power to get much more muscle groups involved and give us the most amount of leverage. We're designed to go here, not here.
If you don't do that, then you usually get more shoulder issues, right? Here, I guess.
Yeah,
because
when you're down
your
here,
shoulder.
it's going to be more torsion on your shoulder.
Yeah. Because I had that, and I was, okay, great. And then if you do then the, what do we call it? Oh man, I lost my words now. It's okay, it will come later. I just forget the word. Yeah, but fine. Okay. No, thanks a lot. It makes sense now. Yeah.
Jeanette, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, like last week I tried to do like deadlifts and stuff and it caused my leg to hurt really bad. So I was just wondering if you have some like alternatives to deadlifts.
Well, I
have arthritis in my leg. I have 3 types of arthritis in my leg, so I have to be really careful.
At what part did you get pain during?
Yeah, it was like a sharp pain underneath my leg.
So at what part of the deadlift in the motion did it start?
I don't remember. It was just like.
So this is important because when it comes to alternative, there are different points of the deadlift to work out those parts of the posterior chain. I need to know what hurt you, so I don't give you an alternative that targets that range of motion that hurt you.
Well, it would probably be the top part.
So finishing it, the lockout.
Yeah.
Okay. So
And because in the video it says to go all the way down to the floor, but that would cause my leg to hurt really bad, so I couldn't go that far down. Because I remember Jen mentioning to go to your knees, and that's what I've always done.
Okay. I mean, if you submit a video of your deadlift, I could be much more.
I don't know how to do videos.
Okay. So
Like because basically I hold my phone, and so like I'm not sure how to do it without having to hold my phone.
if you just hit video and hit record, it'll.
But
set
when I'm holding my
phone up
phone and trying to hold a barbell, that'd be kind of complicated.
Well, you don't want to hold the phone while you're lifting.
Yeah,
You just hit
so
record, set your phone down, and then you do your lift.
okay, because I do it at the gym, so
Yeah. It's that simple. You hit record, set your phone down, point it at you, and then you're good to go. You do your lift. But the reason why I'm asking for that is I don't want to give you something that's going to make it worse.
yeah.
And I don't like when it comes to this topic anyway. I don't like talking out of my ass.
Yeah, because I know I go to PT once a week until middle of December, and they said to try to add some more stretching in to see if that might help a little bit too.
It could. Your PT sounds lame.
That's what they told me.
That sounds like a super lazy answer. What I would do is if we want to swap out deadlifting, we can break it down into some smaller movements. So the top range of motion hurts the most. So what we can do is let's say, is there a leg curl machine?
Yeah.
We can do some leg curls to target the hamstrings and some glute bridges to target the glutes
Okay.
for now. Yeah, until the
Yeah,
pain.
because that's one of the exercises I do at PT is, the leg machine that looks like a square. That's like a square. It's like you're pushing back and forth on
Hack
it.
squat.
So yeah, so that's one of the machines I do in PT.
Okay, so that's more quad focused than posterior focus. So a deadlift, we need to get the back of the body. So the glutes, the hamstrings are the main things I'm worried about, but doing so without that top range of motion that hurts. So I think a glute bridge where your legs are still bent and you can squeeze to pull your butt through without being in a vertical lockout position, and then hamstring curls seem like the best two options. If either of those hurt, don't do them. And we can figure out a game plan for some other alternatives. But
I mean, I do okay on the Smith machine because I'm not going all the way down. I just I move them out. I kind of like, you go up and down with your arms basically. So I'm not really squatting down. So
okay. So yeah, let's try these two movements and go from there.
okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else?
You get down on your motorcycle this weekend?
Maybe. It's really wet here right now out here in Carroll County. So, if it dries out, I'm absolutely getting out on the motorcycle. Because it's it's warm enough where I don't need the windbreaker layer, but it's cool enough where, my riding gear's not making me sweat. Because I ride in full kit. I've hit the asphalt. I've been hit. I've ridden on track. It's not worth the road rash. I have a full winter suit I ride in that it's all, when it's above 40 degrees. My bike's too angry to test ice or I don't really ride in the fall too much because of the leaves. And when your bike's got 146 pounds of torque at the wheel, you don't test that. So yeah, I plan on it. We'll see. We'll see if it stays dry enough.
One question, Nicolas.
Yeah.
From me. On your online shop, do you ship overseas or it's only for the US?
No, it ships everywhere. It ships out of Texas.
Okay. Thank you. Do you have any Black Friday deals or not? Thanks.
Thank you.
Sorry,
All right, guys.
someone mentioned Black Friday. I just want to remind everyone that we're running a Pump Club sale on Black Friday ending on December 2nd, and we're also including Cyber Monday.
Man, Noah's kind of got a radio voice.
Noah with the plug.
Are you reading off a script or something, Noah?
No, I've had like clogged sinuses for like the past couple of years, and for some reason they've cleared up the last 2 days, so I have a better voice, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah.
All right.
Do voiceover for the pump. Instead of Nick's voice, just go over Nick's voice when he coaches in the stories. Or
I was trying, or I guess I'm still trying to figure out. I'm sure you guys have met Ben Riley, but he's got the most ASMR voice of all time, and it's not just because he's British, but it's very calming and it's very, like it's fantastic. Like he has a voice for radio. I got him to record himself reading one of our passages in the newsletter, and I'm trying to find a way to like release that in a way that's not like a 7-minute video of him reading. So, but I'm figuring it out. So hopefully we'll have that for you guys soon in the ASMR department.
all right, cool.
All righty. Well, I'm gonna go eat because I can eat like an asshole now, and I plan on doing so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
showing up.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
Happy
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thanksgiving.
All right.